Fact: Star Wars is the greatest movie series of all time. Look it up. Aren't they great? All four of them? Aren't these four movies great? I only wish they made a prequel trilogy or something so we could see how Anakin Skywalker turned into Darth Vader. That'd be pretty cool. Oh well, them's the breaks. But surely a space opera with such iconic characters and memorable moments has some incredible video games to go along with it. Well, young Padawan, you're in luck. I'm Spencer with the Itch Network, and let's list the top 10 Star Wars games. Number 10, Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Really, all of the Super Nintendo Star Wars games were great, but this one takes the gold. Developed by Sculptured Software and Real Time Associates. Yeah, them. This game came out for the Super Nintendo. Get it? Super? As a side-scrolling action game. You can play as multiple characters in each level, and often different characters for the same level. Like, you can play as either Chewbacca or Princess Leia. Each character has strengths and weaknesses. Some are ranged and some are melee. Look at these crazy-ass bosses! The graphics were amazing for the time, and it just sounded like Star Wars. If we were making this list back in its time, this could have easily been number 1 on the list. Number 9, Republic Commando. Do you like Tom Clancy games, but you want lasers instead of bullets? Man up, I say. Or play this game. Released on the Xbox, this unique game took the tactical action you might see from Ghost Recon and translated it into the Star Wars universe. You play as clone troopers during the Clone Wars. You know, that thing mentioned in A New Hope and nowhere else, as they attempt to assassinate Geonosian leader Sun Fac. The surprisingly solid gameplay and interesting perspective make this a fan favorite for those who played it. It even had books released around it that delved into its lore, revealing story elements from before and after the plot of the game. Now that is some dedication. Number 8, Star Wars Episode 1, Racer. Now this is pod racing. Pod racing was like NASCAR for aliens in the Star Wars series, so it was only natural that it would turn into a video game. This one came out on the arcade with a slightly different title, and then on consoles, namely the N64 and the Dreamcast. You play as one of several racers, including Anakin Skywalker, Sebulba, and Treeface. This game really captures that sense of speed, of turning on your thrusters and racing through Tatooine or Coruscant or other crazy locations across the Star Wars universe in a slapped-together racing vehicle. You also had to make sure you didn't explode, you're gonna explode, by going too fast and slamming into a turn. It took the best part of a shitty movie and let you play it, and it was honest fun. The only thing they could have done was let Darth Maul pilot one of the pods, and then he jumps out and cuts Jar Jar apart like shzah! Number 7, Jedi Power Battles. Another game based off a movie that never happened, this game lets you play as several different Jedi Knights in the Council as they fight their way through a droid army, an evil Sith, and a shitty plot. You could be Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Mace Windu, and then some weird aliens, also Jedi. As you progress through the levels, you gain skills like combos to help you chop down robots and Gungans with reckless abandon. You also get power-ups throughout the levels, like a hilariously long lightsaber. Oh, and did I mention this game has co-op? Well, it does. Glorious 2-player co-op. If you've ever wanted to see Mace Windu fuck over Qui-Gon while he's trying to jump over a ledge, this might be the game for you. The only real downside here is the game is kind of buggy, and it has some sloppy implementations that can make the platforming segments, at times, less than ideal. That doesn't completely ruin the fact that this is pure gaming bliss with a friend though, so turn on your lightsabers, I swear, if you call them lifesavers, I'll cut you, and jump in. Number 6, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. One of the most memorable parts from the franchises are the space battles. Everyone remembers the Death Star battle, the Hoth fight, I guess not technically space, but blow me, and the second Death Star battle. Placing the player in the cockpit of these awesome vehicles was a natural fit. There were games that attempted it before, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, boy are these names clever, but the Rogue Squadron series perfected it, particularly this GameCube launch title. Developed by Factor 5, you can play as various ships in the franchise, from X-Wings and Y-Wings to Snowspeeders and those Bespin cloud cars. Remember when they pulled over the Millennium Falcon? No other game has captured just how exhilarating it is to take down a Star Destroyer or go balls deep into a flock of TIE Fighters. Flock? Delta? Murder? Oh, let's go with murder. Each level is a blast to play, and looked especially beautiful on the then new hardware, providing for an early standout in the GameCube's lineup. Number 5, The Old Republic. I imagine this game will come as a surprise to many, but it was voted for by us, so here we go. This was BioWare's attempt to usurp the MMORPG throne using the Star Wars name and the era they created, featuring a Mandalorian war and a Sith Lord named Darth Revan, more on him later. Whether or not it was successful is certainly up for debate, probably not, just saying, but it is still going on in a free-to-play format. EA seems to be happy with it, so we can only assume it's making some money. What's great about this game is that it takes the addictive nature of an MMORPG of leveling up and gaining or crafting gear and puts them into an environment that's friendly to fans of single-player games. The quests give you options on how to perform them, offering dark side and light side choices. Yes, you can be a Jedi doing all dark side choices, or a Sith with heavy light side influences. Does it make sense? Not really, but it sure is hilarious being a bastard to the confused Jedi around you. Aside from the Force users, you can also be a bounty hunter, a special agent, a smuggler, and a trooper. Yay. WoW is still the king of the hill for this genre, maybe Final Fantasy XIV depending on how you look at it, but this game is still quite the feat. Number 4, The Force Unleashed. In this third-person action game, you play as Starkiller, a kid who is strong in the Force. The game takes place between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, whatever that is, with Darth Vader training your character to be a Sith Lord. You're sent off to the far reaches of space to kill the remaining Jedi, with the ultimate goal of killing Emperor Palpatine himself. The game is supercharged with Force powers and intense lightsaber hack-and-slash debauchery. If ever there was a game that captured the fantasies of being a Sith Lord on a murder rampage, this was it. You can even use your Force powers to move things around like some Jedi pleb, if that's what you're into. It ends with a choice that you definitely don't want to miss. It should be super cheap right now for the PS3 and Xbox 360, so check it out. It spawned a sequel, but you can pretty much skip it. Number 3, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. This is a series of RPGs in the vein of Baldur's Gate, with the main character being a Force user, and his friends either being Jedi or other archetypes. You are an exile with a dark past, and you wake up on a vessel in the middle of space. You uncover secrets throughout the game and determine for yourself whether to follow the light or the dark. In a lot of ways, this game is actually considered superior to the original, with Obsidian taking the developer reins. They have a history of quality writing, making some of the most iconic characters in the series, including HK-47 and Kreia. In fact, this game could have easily been number 1, if not for the rush job ending. This game has a restored content mod on Steam that tries to encapsulate the intended vision of the unfinished game, but it still leaves much to be desired. Number 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Space battles are awesome, but around the PS2 and Xbox era, shooting games were gaining serious ground. Tom Clancy, Halo, and SOCOM were becoming mega hits, and Star Wars was an easy fit for this genre. It's simple. Take all those amazing shooting segments from the movies, make them multiplayer, add a little flair to it, and you've got a bag of money delivered onto your doorstep. The now sadly defunct Pandemic handled this game, and they really nailed a game that was not only fun for Star Wars fans, but for fans of shooters in general. Following a pretty basic Battlefield-like capture mode, this game took place on various locales in the universe, and let you shoot it out as the Republic versus the Empire. You could also jump into vehicles and tear it up in aerial combat as well. People dumped endless hours into this gem, which made the more recent Battlefront release all the more painful. It looks bad when a game released over a decade ago has more fleshed out features and more content than a game released 2 generations later. Finally, number 1, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. If there's one game that I say made the Xbox a console to buy, it would be Halo. Then, I would say it's Knights of the Old Republic. We've already mentioned the gameplay with the sequel in a previous entry, but it started here, and is essentially identical. In BioWare's fantastic sci-fi epic, you play as a soldier waking up on a ship, who eventually discovers latent Force powers. Picking between the light and dark provides true replayability, as being a good guy is a night and day difference to being bad. RPG fans can't ignore this game, as it has awesome characters and an engrossing story, as well as one of the best plot twists in gaming. This game is out for PC and even mobile devices now, so there's no reason you can't play it. It's handily the greatest Star Wars game ever made.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a like and comment below. Check us out on twitch.tv/thisistheitch and theitchnetwork.com, where you can check out links to our podcast and our friends at Does This Game Suck? If you have any questions or topics for us, email us at theshow@theitchnetwork.com. And don't forget, we do new videos every week.